Hey, how's it going? It's Ollie here. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to get your Amazon product, your private label product, to page 1 on Amazon in 2022. So let's start with this question. Why do you want to get your product to page 1? Why is that important? Well, page 1 is where at least 80% of the sales in any niche happen. Usually when you look at a list of products on an Amazon page in any niche, you'll see maybe the first 5 are doing the revenue you want to do, and the rest of the sellers in the niche really aren't making much money at all. So you want to be on page 1 and you want to be one of the top sellers at the top of page 1. If you don't achieve this and your product's on page 2 or 3 or 4 or any page after that, the fact of the matter is it's not likely you're going to be making decent sales, and it's not likely you're going to be making decent profit. So really it's either page 1 or failure. So how do we make it happen? Well, the first concept to understand is the concept of beating the competition. Now, whenever we start talking about getting products to sell on Amazon and things like competition, I often get questions such as, in 2022, is Amazon too competitive? Is it too hard to make it work? To start with, when I was selling products in the beginning of my Amazon career in 2015, I had people saying, look, it's too competitive. You probably should have done it a few years ago. That's when everybody was making money on Amazon. Now, as in 2015, there's too many competitors, too many sellers, too many Chinese sellers, and the opportunity has passed. A lot of these people who had all these fears didn't go ahead and sell on Amazon. They didn't build their businesses. Some of them limped along and just had their bad mindset and just didn't really get any results. And then I made £300,000 in that year. So what was the difference? Well, the difference was they were focusing on the competition and I was focusing on learning money skills to help me grow a successful business. It's all about what you focus on. So with that out of the way, how to get your products to page 1? Well, the first thing you need to do is understand conceptually what page 1 actually means. What does it mean to get your product to page 1? Well, this brings us on to the concept of keyword ranking. Keyword ranking. When you get your product to page 1, what you're doing is you're getting it to page 1 for a specific keyword that's related to your product. Okay? Usually it will be the most common, the highest traffic keyword associated with your niche. So for example, let's say you're selling a spatula, right? You probably want to get your product to page 1 for the keyword spatula. Now, I'm assuming the keyword spatula is a very competitive niche and it might be difficult to do that. You've probably picked a niche that's less competitive, hopefully, right? But what it means is when you type in the word spatula, then you'll look on page 1 to see if your product is there. If you're selling a spatula and you type in the word keyboard, then you're not going to be on page 1 for the word keyboard, right? You're probably going to be on like page 500,000, or you're probably not going to appear in the search results at all unless the word keyboard is on your listing somewhere. So why is this important to understand? Well, the reason why is because you could be ranked number 1 for the keyword silicone spatula with extra long handle and black color. You could be on page number 1 for that, which is a really long tail keyword. But if nobody's typing in that keyword, it doesn't matter if you're on page 1 for that keyword. So you want to be ranked on page 1 for the keyword people are actually typing in to find your product. Now you might be asking, well, how do we figure out if people are typing in the keyword for your product? Well, you can use a keyword search tool, a keyword ranking tool to figure this out. AMZ Scout actually have a keyword tool just like this. You can type in the keyword you want to rank for. They'll tell you how much volume is going through that particular keyword, how many people are typing it in your territory, whether it's UK, Europe, America, Japan, Singapore, whatever. And so you can pick a keyword to rank for that's relevant to your product and people are typing in. So that's our goal. We want to get our product on the top of page 1 for the keyword that's relevant, that has lots of traffic. What this means is when people type in that keyword, they'll find your product and there'll be a high chance they're actually going to buy it. So how do we actually make this happen? Well, there's 4 key steps. Step number 1 is beat the bestseller. Whenever you launch a product on Amazon, your number one goal is to beat the bestseller. This all starts with sourcing a product that's genuinely better than the bestseller's product. So step number one to actually doing this is looking at your niche and seeing who the bestseller is. Now you might see the number one bestseller tag on a product in your niche, but I don't define that as being the bestseller. To me, the bestseller is the person who's making the most money, the most revenue in your niche. It could actually be the product that's ranked number 2 in your niche because their price might be higher, they might be making less sales, but making more cash overall. I'd say they're the one to beat. So you can use a tool like AMZ Scout, type in the keyword that you want to rank for that we established already, that has high volume and that also is relevant to your niche. Then hit the AMZ Scout extension, sort it by revenue, and you can establish who is the bestseller in your niche. You want to make it your mission to launch a product that's better than their product. If you can do that, then you make all of the competition completely irrelevant. So how do we know which product to source to actually beat the bestseller? Well, step one is to look at the reviews in the best-selling products listing. See what customers love about the product and see what they hate about the product. See what things they wish would be improved. See what's important to the customers. If you can do this, then you can figure out ways to add more value to the marketplace, offer products that are better than what's on offer. Also look at some of the negative reviews of the competition as well and see how good their products are. See what customers love about them, see what customers hate about them. It's good to type in, when you're looking at the reviews, type in emotive words like want, wish, hate. If you can find reviews with those words in them, they'll give you real insights into what the customer loves, what the customer hates, and really what your product should have if you want to make customers happy, beat the bestseller, and offer a product that's better than everybody else's. Once you've gathered a load of information about how to beat the bestseller and offer the best product in the niche, then you can actually source a product that's better than everybody else's because you're offering the customers exactly what they want. Now, a lot of Amazon sellers completely skip this step, right? They offer a half-assed product which is sourced without doing any research. It hasn't really beat the bestseller. It isn't really better than anything else on the marketplace. It's pretty much just as good as all the other products in the marketplace. And then they want to use some fancy tricks, some SEO tricks to get the product to page 1. They want to have a really well-optimized keyword campaign with their advertising. They want to have an amazing listing. But really, if you don't have an incredible product that's genuinely better than everybody else's, then it doesn't matter how good your marketing is, customers will be able to see that your product is just average and they just won't buy it. Or if you trick them into thinking it's better than it is, you'll get really bad reviews and then you'll be a 3 out of 5 star product and then you just won't make many sales. So it's really important to understand that you have to offer a product that's genuinely better than all the other products in the niche. And if you can do that, then you can beat the bestseller. And every other step of the process is just so easy. This is why you see, quite frankly, a lot of products listed on Amazon. The listing is appalling. The advertising just isn't done very effectively, but they sell like hotcakes. Why? Because customers know the intrinsic real-world value of the product. If you can do this, you can beat the bestseller, then what happens is you start to spin the value wheel. Let me walk you through how the value wheel works. So first of all, you have a better product than everybody else. In other words, you've added more value to the marketplace. What this means is because your product genuinely is premium, now you can charge more than anybody in the niche for your product, right? You're able to charge more money for your product. Because of this, you're going to be making more profit than most of the other Amazon sellers in the niche. You've got a higher price, you'll make more profit. If you've got more profit, this means you can market aggressively. So you can actually spend more money on advertising, you can pay more for clicks, you can be more aggressive, and you can get more sales from the advertising, because what happens with advertising is the product gets shown right at the top of page one of your ads. Customers click on it because they like the look of it and it's relevant to the keyword they've typed in. More clicks obviously lead to more sales. More sales lead to you getting more positive reviews as long as your product really is good on the listing. More reviews means you can charge even more because now customers go, okay, this product is £10 more than the competitor's product. However, it looks much better and it looks like it's going to be worth it. And therefore, you keep spinning the value wheel, right? Because then you get even more profit, you can market more aggressively, get more clicks, get more sales, get more reviews, and charge even more. You can't start spinning this wheel, however, unless you have offered a product that's genuinely better than anything else on the marketplace. Okay, so you've offered a product that's better than everybody else's, you've beaten the bestseller. Now you started spinning the value wheel. What do you do next? Well, step 2 to getting your product to page 1 is really optimizing your listing. So now you've got an amazing product. Well, customers aren't going to know it's amazing psychically, right? They're going to need to look at your title, your pictures, your description, your bullets, and you're going to need to sell them on the value of your product. So your listing needs to be really, really well optimized. In fact, I wouldn't spend any money on advertising until your listing is, say, a 9 out of 10 in terms of optimization. What I see a lot of new Amazon sellers do is their listing is like a 4 out of 10. Their pictures look a bit weird. Their title doesn't have any good keywords in it. Their bullets don't really grab your attention. The description is, quite frankly, they don't even bother with the description, right? And then they turn on advertising and they're getting all these clicks on the listing and they're wondering why customers aren't buying. If you turn on an advert and send traffic to a bad listing, you're essentially just throwing money down the drain because you're getting clicks on something that just isn't going to get people to buy. So we want your listing to convert really well. In other words, that's fancy marketing talk for the more people who click on it actually end up buying. So how do we do this? Well, recognize there's 4 elements of your listing and we want each of them to be as good as possible. Right, so let's start with the title. The title at the top of your listing should have 2 main things in it. Number 1, it should have that keyword we talked about at the beginning of this video that has high volume and also is relevant to your product. Right, that should be right at the beginning of the title. The second thing your title should have is the thing that makes your product better than the bestseller. So if the reason it's better than the bestseller is because it's smaller, more stylish, or stronger, or more long lasting, or whatever it is, put that in the title. This will grab the attention of the customers and get them to click on the listing because you've tapped into their psychology, understood what they want, wish, hate, need from the reviews that you saw on the other listings. Therefore, that's what they want, that's what they're looking for, and they'll click on your listing. Second thing is photos. So photos should really sell the value of your product, and we want to do different types of photos to sell different things about your product. So your main product photo should always have a white background and it should include everything that is for sale with your product. So if you're offering a bundle, like the main thing plus a free thing, make sure both of those things are on display in the main product photo. So customers go, oh wait, there's loads of listings here that just include the main product, but this one includes the main product plus this bonus thing. Or if there's something really special about your product you want to show off because that's what makes it better than everybody else's, that has to be on display in the main product photo. So just have it available for display and make sure it has a white background. Second type of photo you need is a lifestyle photo. So this is demonstrating how your product will change the customer's life. So if it's a cutlery set, show off how the cutlery set looks on somebody's dinner table. If it's a water bottle, show off how the water bottle is being used when somebody's jogging or in the gym. This helps the customer imagine how the product's going to fit into their life. It's really pointless selling a curtain and just having a picture of a curtain with a white background on an Amazon listing. People are never going to have a curtain in that scenario in their life. It's always going to be on a window in one of their rooms. So have a room, picture of a room, a stock photo of a room with your curtain photoshopped in. Then the customer goes, that's what it will look like if it was in my house. Then have what I call a product feature photo. So this could be a photo with a white background with your product, maybe parts of it are zoomed in, and then just add loads of arrows and text pointing to different bits of your product and talking about the features. Now, this is really powerful because let's say your product is a certain length. You can put an arrow from one end to the next and then put the dimensions in next to the arrow. You can put a little bit of text pointing towards different features that make your product better, whether it's ergonomic, whether it's made from a better material, whatever it is. You can visually point out different parts of the product to the customer as if you were, with them in a showroom, showing them the product and letting them have a go and try it out for themselves. Remember, when a customer's looking at your product, they're looking at it on a computer screen. They can't hold it, they can't touch it, they can't try it on. So you really have to do all these things for them with the photos on your listing. Another thing to remember is that some customers only look at the photos. They don't really read the bullets, they don't look at the description, they look at the photos and then they decide whether or not to buy. So you really want to capture their attention and give them something interesting about your product just from the photos. This is why I often actually write text on each photo, breaking down some of the big benefits that your product provides. Because then, if somebody just looks at the photos, then they might buy the product right there and then. Next part of the listing is your bullets. So bullets should be like little attention-grabbing snippets, all right? And each one of these should have a little headline that's in capital letters that really pulls in your prospect. It should be something really important about the benefits of your product. So let's say you're offering a water bottle and it's really big and you know that your customers want an extra large water bottle and that's important to them. Now, a lot of Amazon sellers would write as their first bullet in capital letters, extra large size. So this is a feature of the product. And yes, that is important and it might be eye-grabbing, but really, whenever you have a feature in capital letters on your listing, particularly in the bullets, you want to do the so what test. So you look at the bullet, it says extra large size, so what? What does that mean? Why do people care about that? Well, the real reason people want extra large water bottles is because it's annoying to have to refill your water bottle halfway through the day. So the real benefit of having an extra large water bottle is that you can save time by only filling up your bottle once in the morning. So that would be a way better headline to have at the start of your bullet in capital letters. Then in the rest of the bullet in normal lowercase, you can explain how the extra large size of the 1 litre water bottle makes it much more attractive for serious gym goers because they only need to fill it up once in the morning and they have enough water to last them for the rest of the day. Then finally, your description. What should be in your description? You've got 2,000 characters to use. Well, obviously, you should definitely have some HTML formatting in there to space it out. Nobody wants to read a huge, horrible block of text on an Amazon listing, right? We want it to be neatly spaced, we want it to be bullets, we want there to be a bit of bold, we want there to be paragraphs, and that just makes it easier on the eyes. So I've put in the description some HTML tags you can use to make your listing look really attractive, your description. And there's also a link you can click on to test out what these tags look like and get a little preview of how it looks. And then once you've made it look really good and you've got it down to 2,000 characters, you can copy and paste the code and put it into your Amazon listing. Okay, so now you've got your 4 elements of your listing looking really, really good. This means when someone clicks on your listing, there's a much higher chance they're actually going to buy. So what do you do next? Well, step 3 of getting your product to page 1 is all about sales volume. Sales volume. Now, the way the Amazon ranking system works for products, as in bestseller ranking and all that stuff, is down to how many sales you make in a day. That's pretty much it. That's the number 1 metric they track to decide which product goes where in the keyword ranking system. So you want to get as many sales per day as you possibly can. So what this means is usually starting at a very competitive price, starting quite cheap, cheaper than everybody else. So when customers click on your advert, they have really no reason not to buy the product. This will get you to 5 sales a day, 10 sales a day, 15 sales a day, 20 sales a day in no time, providing you have a product that beats the bestseller because it's genuinely valuable and your listing is really well optimized. And what will happen as you start to get more and more sales every day, your listing will start to climb the search results and go from page 5 to page 4, 3, 2, 1, and it will climb up page 1 and get nearer to the top. Now, the magical thing about this is that you'll start to get organic clicks on your listing. Rather than them clicking on the advert to buy the product, they'll be clicking on the listing that they see in the search results. That means a free sale for you without the expense of advertising. Now, the main concept to understand when you're going for sales volume is not to focus on profit. All right, we're going to talk about in the next step. Really what you want to do to get as much sales volume as possible is go into the red. This means being very aggressive with your advertising campaigns, running automatic campaigns, running manual campaigns, just to get as much sales volume as you possibly can. Now, your price is going to be low, your advertising is going to be high, you're not going to be getting much organic sales in the beginning. So what this means is you're going to be burning quite a lot of cash, right? Just for the first few weeks. This is totally fine, right? Because what we're doing is we're investing money into the marketing of our listing, getting it ranked. So step 4, we can make a little bit of profit. So the important thing to do here is to have a budget for how much you can afford to spend on advertising over, say, 4 weeks, and then break that down into a daily budget. Set that budget for your campaigns and just keep it running. That way, you'll start to get more and more and more sales volume. Your page 1 ranking will appear soon after a few weeks, hopefully. And then you can focus on making things a little bit more cost effective and profitable. So finally, step 4 is all about making profit. So obviously we don't want to go into the red forever with our Amazon product, right? We want to actually make some cash after all those expenses. So how do we do that? Well, once you're on page 1, it'll be a lot easier to start making profit, because now you'll start to see consistent organic sales coming in from people clicking on your listing without clicking on the advert, right? This will mean that you can actually turn down your advertising a little bit. I would keep it on, always keep it on, right? But turn down the advertising so you can get most of your sales from organic clicks. What this means is now your expenses come down. You can start to increase the price of your product as you get more reviews and the value wheel starts to spin. And then all of a sudden your profit margin starts to appear. So month 2, month 3 of selling your product, you should be on page 1, and now you should be focusing on getting profit and making things sustainable. This is when it becomes easier to reorder more stock, easier to launch more products, easier to do more test batches, because now you have consistent profit coming in from your product. So I hope this guide has been helpful for you to help you get your products to page 1 in 2022. And really, as ever, it all starts with having a product that's genuinely better than the bestseller in your niche. Focus on that skill. If you're an Amazon seller, that's the number 1 thing you should focus on. How can I source products that genuinely add more value to the marketplace than anybody else? If you do that, the rest of the business is a lot easier to manage. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and you'll see more of these videos from me coming up very soon. There's also some links in the description if you want to get some help from me building your Amazon business. I can't wait to see your results. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch you very soon.